Hi and welcome. I'm running a little bit late tonight, but we made it. Tonight, I want to go through have the matting done. I did get the project remade. Mine's wonky. Don't look at it. I was just this is the prototype, popping it together because it's been a lot of years since I've done this. I wanted to show you. Oh, and so you can put your post-it notes. But let me give you an idea. This is one of the remakes. It has the drawers. This one is on upside down. And of course, you're going to want to put something else, but I'll explain everything here in a minute. How's the drawers? Oh, hi, Kim. And let me show you. A lot of these videos were done on other groups, and those groups are since gone. And so I'm remaking them because of a lot of requests, and they're no longer available on my YouTube or anywhere because they were done in another group, and that group closed, and all videos kind of closed there. But these were the three remakes. So we've already done the towers. We already did the boxes. And I did want to show you this has the 1-inch sides on it instead of the 1/2 inch like we did in the original one. And I did these with coffee, remember? Now, this one is the one we're making tonight. And this was by a past member who's no longer with us. And we did a lot of my projects with my permission, of course. We were friends. So we are going to remake this. And I was going to have it done and matted, but things didn't work out that way. But I did get a picture this time so you can see what on earth we're making. So we are making this bottom one because a lot of you I know are new. And then a lot of you said, mine is old and tired. I need to remake these. Now, they are also great of those gifts I always talk about to give with the projects that you're making. So I will set that there. Now, you may be asking about this beautiful pink. It is, don't have, I was going to do this all in pink. This was the brown felt. So I'm going to use the brown felt again. This is the pink artisan, and it's called Peony Pink. And here we go with those wonderful lines again. See the lines? So I need to change my lighting really quick. The Peony Pink, you need to see. There we go. So let me get some different lighting going here. Now, our Peony Pink, our cameras, now we're going to have tons of shadowing. Okay. That's better, but we'll have shadows, but at least we won't have the lines running through. It's gonna get shadow for me. Yes, it is a beautiful, beautiful color. Cameras are such a fun thing, aren't they? And doing things on our own. Well, that's the way it is. So I do apologize for the shadowing, but we're gonna have shadows. See through that. Or we're gonna have the branding lines. You don't see the lines coming through here? Okay, well let's just go with it. Let's what happens with I can see it. As long as it's not gonna bother you guys. Because you're not seeing any lines? Okay. I see this dark line here and then a dark line here, but we'll go with it. The Peony Pink is the artisan felt. So I'm starting to get more colors in now as I'm approving the colors, because the main thing is that I have to be able to score this and have no cracking. It has to be 100% for our projects because we don't want nasty, messy edges. that show up, when you're using a cardstock that maybe just isn't as that doesn't have the long fibers. It all has to do with the long fibers. Now I cut this with the Cricut, and as you can see, it cut absolutely gorgeous with the Cricut, just like the linen. So now we're going to be getting the felt colors in. The one thing with the felt, and it's the different process that it is created, still long fibers, so you're going to have the scoring no matter what grain you go with, because when you go around, it's a grain. You're going to hit the grain, and then you won't hit a grain. And you don't want, when you get to the no grain, to have that cracking because it's long fibers. So your grains pretty well stay the same because it's long fibers instead of broken up recycled fibers. And that's what's going to make it so that you have beautiful projects that are going to last a lifetime. And you can get more colors in felt. I can get more colors in felts. So I've got the pink, and I wanted to also show you how beautiful this is. Peony pink. And I need to talk to you about Soar. So I picked Soar up from the printer today, and it's going to start printing. No, it's already printed. It's going to start shipping. Look at that with the peony pink. So this pink is going to go for your baby albums, anything you want. It's going to be gorgeous. And look at it with the purple. And when I first get my shipments, I get a smaller amount until we check it out. It's great. I love it. So we'll be getting more. Oh my gosh, you guys, it looks terrible. And it has to do with these lights. That doesn't help, does it? All right. I thought I had it straightened out. Spent all day Saturday one day. And then the other thing I need to show you is I've been meaning to get pictures taken, but I didn't get them taken. We are, as you know, getting ready for our big retreat in May. But this is the artisan linen, and this is the coffee felt. So there is quite a difference. You don't notice it until you put them together. And it just depends on what you want. The linen, of course, right now is unavailable until a later date when the mills are still getting caught up. Remember, they were on limited resources for 3 years. So we've still got some catching up to do, like they said. And the felt, though, was my alternative to bringing spit all over the paper. Hi, Tanya, to bring the brown in. And if you don't have something made in the brown, you're not going to notice when you get the coffee brown. So one is your Nespresso coffee, like I like, really strong. And this one is your coffee with cream, right? So it does look good. It looks really good with the pink. So you can use this for matting. It is a little more expensive, of course, but you're going to love it. You're going to love it for scoring. It's wonderful. And again, if you're just joining us, we are recreating the box. Now, I am just going to recreate the shell with you. I didn't do the matting. And one thing that I did do different, and I'll talk about it, is I had used lightweight chipboard and I mat the insides. This is pretty strong in the felt or the linen as it is. Your choice, but I won't mat it. Like I said, I will all night long. But you're also going to want some kind of a hole, which again, I'll talk about some things you can poke a hole, put your ribbon, thread your ribbon through, and make it into a hole. And you can, of course, use the knobs. You can. I'm going to show you with a button. For instance, a fun thing to do is grab your buttons. You're going to put your twine through the button, Make a loop, tighten the back, and then you would attach it after you poke a hole. So I'm going to poke a hole in this one just to give you a few ideas. This is pretty long. It does not need to be this long. So I'm just taking my twine through my buttonholes. I'm going to want to loop. And I'm holding that loop kind of big. So I can tie it to the back. Yes, I just used my teeth. Don't cut the string off, but tie it into a knot. Now you've got yourself. You have yourself a little loop. Yeah, and you probably do want to crisscross it on the front first and tie it there also. See other, oh yeah, you do need to. I left that part out. So you do want to make it longer. So you're going to tie it in the front and tie it in the back, but still, you could still make a loop. Then you would feed this through. My twine is pretty thin. It's our little thin stuff. I think my tweezers are getting worn out. Great. So you do want it to be longer. Then you would tie your knots. Then it would hold it in the back. Take that down with some score tape and put your paper over it. And then see you'd have this cute little pull on the front. Okay. So again, just tie your knot front and back, but make sure you leave it long on both ends. And then you can trim it, and you can also knot this into a loop, but I think it's cute just like that. Then you would put it back in the drawer. And then you have a pull. Mine's not attached, of course, so I'll set that aside. So that's what we're going to make. And if you have your notebooks ready, you'll want to jot these measurements down. And if you're in Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations, Tanya's awesome for putting the measurements in the drip. Hi. Oh, you're at Disney World. How fun. Okay. The only thing different too is I will give you rough measurements on your pattern paper. And I always do an inch. I always do an eighth of an inch. And we'll just kind of measure that now because everything is going to be 7/8 of an inch. These are all 1 inch. Everything's 1 inch. So you're going to cut 7/8 of an inch strips. There goes Homer. Again, 7/8 of an inch strips that will go inside and outside, and they are all going to be 4 1/8 inches long. So really easy measurements. Hi, Brian. Super easy. 7/8, 4 1/8. 7/8, 4 1/8 on Absolutely everything. Drawers, sides, everything. I do not do the insides with pattern paper. Now, inside of your drawers. Since everything on the side is 4 1/8, let me double check. Yep, 4 1/8. Your bottom is going to also be 4 1/8 by 4 1/8, inside and outside. Now, again, I wouldn't do the bottom. Sliding in could be a problem, but again, that's totally up to you. You do have room unless you're going to put lightweight chipboard. You would cut a 4x4 piece of lightweight chipboard to go inside your drawers, the top 2 drawers. And I will give those again to you as we're going. But the basics are really fun, really easy. And can't believe the miss. Oh, I know the mystery is almost here. Hi, guys. So here's what you cut. These are going to be the drawers and the top because your top piece is the same as your drawers. You want 3 pieces of cardstock, preferably a heavier cardstock, preferably artisan because you know it's going to last, or even if you have 100-pound weight. And they are going to be 7 3/4 by 7 3/4, 3 of those. Then we want 2. These are going to be what our drawer, these are going to make that the housing for the drawers. And these are 9 3/4 long by 6 3/8 wide. And we are going to start with these. So what we want to do is place these in our scoreboard with the 9 3/4 across the top. And you want to score, well, actually, I'm going to start with the 6 3/8 across the top. I'm going to score it 1 inch. And I want to turn now my 9 3/4 across the top. And I want you to score. I told you wrong. I was looking at my wrong measurement. But don't worry, if you just scored, I don't think anybody has anything cut. But if you do, just smooth it out. You're fine. And rescore this again because I was looking at our drawers. I'm going to beat that dog. Rescore at 3/4. No, you guys, I need to read my notes. I'm sorry. We got people across the street. They are working. And if you're just joining us, I explained the brown cardstocks and the difference in color. So you definitely will want to watch this from the start. Now we're going to do this again. Okay. We're going to go by my notes, strictly by my notes. So we're going to put the 9 3/4 across the top and score it 4 3/8. My notes are old. Got to remember, I did this, 4 or 5 years ago. And then I want you to score 4 3/8 and 5 3/8. There we go. 1 inch. It was 1 inch. And I'm just going to turn back here and score it 1 inch because we want them all to match. So now I can do it how I was going to. So we're going to score it 1 inch. And we're going to turn and score it 4 3/8. And 5 3/8. And turn it again and score it 1 inch. So that is what we're making. So 1 inch on the sides and actually 1 inch at the bottom, at the top. all three of our 7 3/4 inch pieces. You're going to score at 3/4, 1 3/4 on all four sides. 3/4, 1 3/4, 3/4, and 1 3/4, and our last 3/4 and 1 3/4. So again, all four sides at 3/4 and 1 3/4. So now I will go ahead and just kind of speed through these next two. Now with the felt artisan, you can tell that I am, well, I think you can, I am pushing. And it's just as durable as the linen. Yeah, let me get that. There we go. Better in the picture. So 3/4 and 1 3/4, all four sides. Neighbors are having new roofs put on. And I think this is going to go on all week long. Okay, our scoring is done. And I forgot to grab a cloth. And I got to cut them. I'm telling you, these things are long. These are, this is the one, the cheesecloth that I use and I've told you guys about. Pretty thick. And then I just cut them. In fact, I wash them. Hi, Diane. Yeah, I try to go live on Mondays. And they're big, even cut in half. So I cut them so I can get 4. And I just order them off Amazon. I've mentioned this before. And I use these now instead of anything else. Lint free, because Sally is the one who says, why are you not buying those instead of the felt or anything else? And she's right. They're wonderful. So we've got that, and they wash really awesome. Now we are going to cut all three the same. So I want to grab my white marker so you can see better. My jelly roll. Over. Okay. So we have your 4 corners. We're going to cut this and this and this. The only one you want to leave is this what we're going to use for a tap. We had 71-degree weather today, Diane, and now it's going to be raining tomorrow. I'm so excited. Okay, to give you an idea, what I'm going to do so that I keep things totally straight and don't get messed up, I'm going to cut straight up my score lines. So that they are across from each other. It's easy to get confused with all these squares. Now I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to cut the exact same on the opposite side score lines. Now this helps me not get confused and start cutting in all different directions. Now I want to cut off the bottom. See this little guy? We're going to cut straight up. Don't get cut happy and just go across here. You're going to lose this whole thing. Just the outside square. Now, I'm going to first fold this. You know how I like to keep everything straight. And I want to clean off anything that's on the outside here. And I just want to now miter this corner and this quarter. And this top, just the top one gets mitered. Same with this. We just want to miter the top. So on the top, where we scored it at 3/4, this all the way around will get mitered. So once again, we'll cut off these 2 X's on the bottom. Cut straight up. Just the outside square. Now I'm going to fold this back. You don't have to do this. It's just I cannot stand when things are supposed to be square and they hang over the edge. So I'm going to clean it up. So my side is square. Then we're going to miter this corner. And that's what each side is going to look like. The reason we do this is meant to be used, and we don't want a raw edge across the top, and we don't want a raw edge across our boxes. Then you start pulling on it and it starts getting used and well, it looks used, right? Okay, now we're going to turn to the opposite side and repeat. So at this point now, I'm just going to miter as I go. So I'm going to miter to the inside, and that will save me a step. Now, if I was doing the matting, so you might just want, if you're making a box with me, and it's always good if you haven't made a box like this to get one made as your diagram. Now, I would mat. I would stop what I'm doing. This is going to be the outside. I would mat this with my 4x4, turn it and mat the inside with, or no, 4x4 would be if I was going to add lightweight chipboard, but I wouldn't put it to the outside. I would just put a 4 1/8 by 4 1/8 piece of pattern paper here. Now, if you're going to do, this is the inside. If you're going to do lightweight chipboard, you would cut a 4x4 and then put your 4 1/8 by 4 1/8 pattern paper on top. Now, I would go back here and I would mat just the outside 1-inch pieces. These will get folded in, and you don't mat these yet. Okay, and you don't want to mat these yet unless you're confident that you won't mess it up, because see the pieces with the tabs? This is a good way to remember it. These pieces that have the tabs on them, you can mat these. Oh, wait, no, there's no sense in matting it. I take this back. Stop. There's no sense in matting it because we are going to fold the sides over. So just mat the outside while it's flat. The 1-inch pieces, your matting will be 7 1/8 or 4 1/8, and you need 4 of those out here. Then you'll need 4 for the inside. So you can mat all of these the bottom and the inside. So now let's go ahead and let's fold our score lines and get those all burnished. And if you need to fix any pieces of cardstock sticking out, now's the time. Now, when I say cardstock sticking out, it means it comes up, it extends past the edge. And it is going to get in the way when you go to fold your box. Hi, Bobby. All right, so now is the time to fix it. Now, bring these together. Now you can kind of see how our box, if you've never made them, will come together and why the matting will take place after we have the piece that folds on the inside. Yes, it has been quite a few years. Clothespins come in real handy for this one. And glue. So I'm going to glue 2 of them right now. And just pull those sides together, matching your score lines. One of the difference with the Felt Artisan, it grabs it fast. So now I'm going to fold that top over. We'll go back and glue it, but that's going to hold those in place so I can do the opposite side. And if you are making this and then doing the matting, of course, you would re-burnish everything before you glue it together so that it's nice and flat before you start gluing it together. Okay. Now, the nice thing with using clothespins, now we can work on the next box. So now that I've shown you, I'm going to go ahead and burnish up all my score lines. And I'll go a little bit quicker. And as you, like I said, I don't think a lot of you have already cut the papers with the measurements that I gave in the beginning. And this way you can go back, watch the beginning, and then create your 3 boxes. Okay. So once again, my first thing I do, just cut straight up. You know, and it doesn't matter if it's this side or this side, just go across. So because it's a symmetrical, it's a square, it's 7 3/4. So we are working with the same size all the way around. And that makes it nice. So we're going to cut off the bottom. And see, sometimes we just don't get quite up all the way up that score line. Remember, our 3/4 of an inch, you'll miter. Whoops. This is why I always start at the bottom. There we go. Get myself mixed up there, and I'll end up cutting my tab off. Now, until you get used to making it, just follow the first box. And like I said, I would be matting it. You can mat it when it's done inside and out. It just makes it easier to mat it while it's flat. All right, let's get our tabs attached. It's the matting that's going to take longer. Now, if you're just making this because you need something quick to throw on your desk to catch stuff, you may not even mat it. I've done that before. And then I just use it till it falls apart. And then I create another one. But if it's a gift like this, you're going to want it to be pretty. And we'll do our third one. Bobby, do you still have yours, or did you give it away as a gift, or did you wear it out from use? Yeah, I'm looking out at the black clouds forming, Diane. The weather is crazy. Somebody needs to put the weather on some kind of drugs. I swear. The little on the make up your mind side. Are we going to have sun today, or are we going to have rain? Well, we're getting ready for rain, that's for sure. But after being sunny and 71 today, that's a little hard to swallow. Mother Nature is very confused. She's not sure if she's coming or going. Okay. Like I said, making the box of the whole unit isn't that time consuming. It's doing all the matting. So it's to really save yourself some time. You'll want to go through, and you'd want 8 strips for each side. So you could get those all pre-cut at 7/8 of an inch by 4 1/8, 8, however you want to to do your edges. Get those all done up so that you can whiz right through creating. Reburnish because everything's kind of flattened. Alrighty. $80. Wow. That definitely is beach weather. Now see, I glued the opposite edges. I mean, I'd cut the opposite tabs, but see, it still goes together. I should have showed you that before I did it. That's why I haven't put the clothespins on because I'll show you. Started gluing the wrong sides. But it still works, so no worries. Okay, now we'll go back to this little guy. And this little guy. And we'll make the casings. And we're almost there. Yes, my is out working in his garden tonight. Okay, these tabs, 3/4 of an inch tabs, we are now just going to glue these all down. They're going to strengthen the sides. So you definitely can add, I would cut them about 3/4 of an inch by 4 inches if you wanted to add lightweight support into all of these sides. And I did that in the original one. So I had added 3/4 of an inch by 4 inch lightweight chipboard to all 4 sides. Okay, then I glued. You don't mat on top, you just add the lightweight chipboard. Then you just glue your sides over. And then you put your matting right on top, 7/8 of an inch by 4 1/8 of an inch. And we'll glue up these sides. Then you have a nice finished edge. And when you mat, you won't even see, you won't see any of that in there. Okay. So that's what the little tray looks like, or drawer. Just gonna add my art glitter glue to all 4 edges. And that will help speed the process a little bit. Oh, Kelly, it was only 45 today. Well, see, that's what's happening here. It's only going to be about 48, 50 here and rain. So she teases us. We get one day of sunshine, one day of rain, one day of sunshine. And it wouldn't be so bad if the temperature didn't drop 30 degrees, you know? Okay, so let's wear shorts today and short sleeves. And tomorrow, let's put our winter coat on. Oh, and snow tonight. Okay. Oh, snow tonight. You're acting as bad as Utah. Okay, my two drawers and the tray for the top. Now the thing with whoops, I need to come out. Okay. Thing is it one sits on top. So we're just gonna set that aside for now. And we're going to create now. Get rid of some of my mess so I don't end up with it in the glue or somewhere I don't want it to be. Let's go ahead and burnish all these score lines. And we'll talk about matting. Now, as you can see now, this becomes the shelf or the drawer. And what happens is when you are sliding in and out, so you don't mat the insides. You really don't want to. Your drawers can get stuck. But we do want to mat the outside. And first, though, our 1 inch that's here in the center, we want to do some cutting. Straight up. Then I want you to miter and miter. One thing is you want to do is keep this square. Those are the sides. Only miter the tab so it hides underneath these flaps. Now, if you're going to mat, same thing, 4 1/8, and it will be 4 1/8. No, it will not. Yeah, 4 1/8 by about cut it 4 1/4, and then go from there and see what you think. But it is only 4 1/8 across. Now, the thing is, you only have to mat with this laying down here. This would become my top piece. Tab will go in, bottom, and the top comes over. So we only have to mat this top piece on the outside. So the only thing you're going to mat, 7/8 of an inch by 4 1/4, and then it's not, this is a little bit over. It's not quite 4 3/8. So cut it 4 1/4 and then trim. But this is going to be 7/8 wide, and probably cut it 4 1/4 and then trim it. And this again is going to be 4 1/8 long, 7/8 wide, and you don't do anything here on the backs, and you do the top and the bottom. And the only reason I do this outside bottom, One of them will be the actual bottom. One of them is what is glued. Well, two of, you're going to glue on top, so it helps with the extra strength. Then you also need to make good and sure that these tabs come to the outside of this bottom. If they're on the inside, your drawer's going to hit. So for instance, you put that on the inside. Can you see how it's in? Maybe you can't. There, kind of can see how it's in there. Your drawer is going to hit on that. So this needs to come to the outside. Lid open again to the outside. Just like you're making a box with the lid. Now that can dry. Let's create our second one. We want to burnish all the 1-inch score lines. Oops. So these guys are going to attach here. Use my desk to keep it square. Now these flaps we're going to glue over the top. So if you did mat these already, then your matting will come over. So watch your directional. And if it's directional, you want to make sure it's going the right direction. And we'll just close that right up. Straight. So as you're working with this and putting it together, You can definitely see where putting your lightweight chipboard, and as you mat it, it won't do this. Right now I can pinch it together, right? But it will get stronger. If you add the lightweight chipboard just to these square areas. And this is definitely easier to mat it before you put it together. Just take your time to get everything lined up. Drawers will fit nicely in there. So do put them in as long as there's no glue sticking out so that it'll hold its shape. In there. Okay, so I want to show you something. So if you don't want two drawers where we're going to stack them on top of each other, that's okay if you only want one. Then you can do this with just one. Oops. Now, your one top drawer is going to be just a hair short. So I brought it to the front more. And yes, you are going to have a little bit of an overhang either in the back, or if you put it in the center, it will look, see how there's a little bit of a lip. There's not a lot you can do on the sizing. When I originally made this, I tried. It does give it more body, of course, with the lightweight chipboard in there. And so it's up to you. You can bring it right to the edge of your chipboard, I mean your cardstock here, or you can have a little tiny lip all the way around, but there is going to be one. You didn't make it wrong. It's just that's the way it's sized. And for me to get, remember back then I did try many different sizes. Either this hung over the edge or it was super teeny tiny, and then I wasn't happy. So that was the compromise because boxes are square and you have to really work out those measurements. So there it is with just one. Of course, it's a lot prettier when you start adding ribbon or anything else. So what we want to do with the boxes inside, we want to now glue these together. Now your two drawers are going to match perfectly. Oh, and you can make 3, 4. You can make this as tall as you want. Okay. Again, these are really nice to add your staples. You can add your paper clips. And I want to show you something else. See this? Your inks. Well, so if you have your favorite inks, you might want to do a bunch of different and put in their potting soil. Or this one is called Pebble Beach. Pebble Beach. And then all you have to do is open your drawers. They can sit right on your desk. And it'll be right inside the little drawer. So you can make this with all your inks. You can do a lot with this. I'm going to close the lid. And like I said, if you've got lightweight chipboard, it'd be so much stronger. Now I like to use the art glitter glue because this is also a lot stronger. Now, another thing you can use. I always keep my rubber bands close at hand. And without the matting, it does look a little wonky. Matting just really helps it lay flat. And it gives it much more shape. Everything looks lined up. This doesn't look lined up, but it truly is when I look at this without the drawers. It doesn't have any matting on it. Okay. Now, if I was making this again, of course, that would be drawing a little bit longer. I know you guys want to keep going and make this matted. And so now I'm going to take my top part, and even though I told you to mat the bottom, well, there's a reason for that. It makes it stronger. So you don't see it, no, but it is making your project that much stronger. Like I said, I've got a little bit of a lip going on each side. I'm going to take this drawer out. I'm not pushing hard. I'm just going in there with my bone folder, kind of help move that glue around. Put our drawer back in. Grab my one thing, my wooden towel. Now, my Post-it notes are small. I do have some bigger square ones, and you can get them in all sizes. I have the big lined ones. And I put those in there. So again, this would be really awesome to use at the store. And that is the remake. So we now have gotten all three of these items done. I'm so happy because I know you guys have been waiting to make them. And I have to show you. So when I made the towers, so let me show you what I used mine for. So we've got the tower here, and I've got my. I don't use hand sanitizers for hand sanitizer. I use them for cleaning my tools because they smell better. My lotion. You got to have new. There it is. Usually my glue refill bottle is in here, but I just emptied it. So thank goodness our glitter glue's back. Got my hand cream, another sanitizer, and I use it for cleaning my mats down here. There's my little cover. Perfect. That's Pat made me. That goes in there, or it can go in there. And then my glue usually will sit in there. That does not have to be used for pencils, as you can see, because I use it for that back. And we redid that one the first time. Got my magnets in there even, and good place. Yeah, this is a good place to keep your magnets. So you can find them easy. And again, you can make this as high as you want. Just keep making these covers and your drawers, covers, drawers, so that you have them as tall and as big as you want. And we're all done. So we've got these remakes done. And I still have a few more because I know we've got a recipe on what's cooking. What's cooking. It was called Baked Love. So I will get to those after the retreat. We do have our retreat coming up, our 1950s at the diner. And then signups for the crop. The crop's totally different than the retreat, but it's still going to be just as fun, just the most amazing experience. You're going to want to sign up, and we're going to have kits from Doodlebug there, kits from Simple Story, kits from Country Craft Creation, of course, and lots of others. So don't hesitate. Run over to countrycraftcreations.com. We've got the new Tony Pink. You're gonna love it. We've been wanting pink, and we something we could create our albums with and our projects with, and that's what this one is. It's Tony Pink Artisan. Excuse me. This is the artisan felt cardstock. Love it. Soar is going to be shipping on Wednesday. So if you did the pre-order, if you now just want to order it, go ahead and get it ordered. The only difference is the pre-orders will ship first. But isn't this just gorgeous? So you're going to want to get this ordered. Now, if you're doing the Spring Fling virtual retreat, this will be in your box. And so if you want to wait, but it'll be the 8x8, you'll be getting the 8x8. I'm pretty sure. If Tony is still out there, no, no, maybe this is the 12x12. You're getting the 12x12. So yeah, you're getting the 12x12, so you want to order the 12 by 8x8. And that's our show tonight, guys. Didn't take us. I thought it would take us longer with creating all of these different elements. But we did it. We're done. And I'm going to try and go live. I don't know. Next Monday, I should be able to. We will be in the thick of getting ready for the event, but that's okay. I'll never forget to do my live shows. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you